everyone, I'm Laura, and this is The Breakdown, where we look at the world through a therapist's eyes. Today I am talking about episode 5 of Heated Rivalry. People love this episode. I love it. My take on that is that it's all paying off. All the ambiguous, complicated feelings, the text messages back and forth, all the sex, what was it all for? It seems all to be paying off and coming together in this episode. And what about Shane? He's so much more confident, taller. His eyes aren't darting back and forth. There's an ease to the way that he's walking. By this time, he's come out to one person, Rose, and it was received in such a gentle, respectful way. I can't imagine that that's part of, him appearing and feeling more confident. And by the way, people have made really poignant comments on the role of women in the friendships that these men have, that they are really their emotional support system. Very cool commentary about that. So with Shane's new confidence, he busts into Ilya's hotel room, pretty much demanding to talk. Ilya's body language is clearly signaling that he is not up for a conversation. And even so, Shane doesn't stop. He pushes. He sits on the edge of that bed. And it's a struggle. It is the struggle that all couples have to face. We have to talk about hard things, and that's going to stir up emotions. And that's really hard. This struggle that we all have, it's the thing that gets us all feeling kind of stuck, defensive. You say the same things, you take the same positions. You can all, you know what your partner is going to say. It's very predictable. We're very predictable in this kind of back and forth pattern that we get into when emotions get big. So when Shane is pressing Ilya about the meaning of their relationship, Ilya shrugs and says it's not a big deal to him and hasn't been all this time. This is so dismissive to what Shane is trying to talk about and tell him, which is that they do have feelings for each other and they are not acknowledging them. So here Shane is fighting to be heard, and he calls bullshit on Ilya. He's angry, and this anger is the energy that's needed to get his message across to Ilya. More on the role of anger in future videos. I love anger, and we will talk about all of that later. So this back and forth is a really good example of one person fighting for connection and another person shutting down. Usually because the emotions that are arising are too overwhelming, or they think to themselves, if I match this energy, if I get just as angry, I'm going to make things worse. It's sort of pretty much at an unconscious level where it's so reactive, emotions moving so fast, that we're not even really aware that this is actually what we're feeling and why we're doing what we're doing. So after a bit of back and forth, Ilya does soften. And I think Shane has a lot to do with this. Ilya reminds Shane that he walked away the last time that they saw each other. And Shane responds to this not with defensiveness. No, he actually apologizes. He acknowledges that that did happen. He's still heated, but he apologizes twice actually in this back and forth. And it might not resolve all of Ilya's hurt, but maybe it's just enough to help Ilya feel a bit less scared. Maybe it lets his guard down, his body softens. He goes into like a little bit of a this position. And then he responds by closing the physical gap between them and sits next to Shane on the bed. So it might feel like an empty apology for some people, and they might get angry back about an apology like that. Like, That's bullshit. You're not really sorry. But here, Ilya does respond in a way that helps him connect to Shane. And then Ilya talks about his fears. And Shane is curious and he's attentive. He's making eye contact. His head is turned toward Ilya. So that's really showing us how we can get from a back and forth of really defensive, stuck, yucky emotions and to a place of connection, even though we're still feeling really difficult, overwhelming emotions. It's hard to communicate. This is what this scene is showing. It's hard, and there is a path to connection. So in the next video, we will dive deeper into how they manage to get to a deeper emotion, even though this is a really painful conversation that they are being brave and talking about. Thanks for tuning in. And if you like this, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.